Alrighty. I believe that should do it. Oh, gotta invite everyone. And it's not popping up yet. I'll fix it somehow. Welcome back, desk. Welcome back. And and okay. Here. There we go. Alrighty then. Welcome, desk. No. I will continually play this game for 1,000 generations. Alright. Why is my chat not loading? Hopefully I'll come back soon. But yes, welcome. Welcome, welcome. I know it's a bit... It's been a bit. It's Benny bit. Bitty bit. And... Huh? Maybe? Did that work? Let me see. Test again. Did that work this time? I don't know why this breaks. Literally every single time. You only have yourself to blame for my absence? Actually, no. I can blame V. Because according to your laws, blame desk for everything. Although according to V's laws, you're to blame for everything. So you yourself are to blame for your absence, which actually does make sense. But yeah, how's it been? It's been a while. You switch your streams to anime day? Well, that's what you get for having an anime day. No one needs an anime day. Although that's funny, is there's an anime group, local anime group that also has their anime day here, and I interrupt them as well, as I want. Welcome, Farfella. Welcome to the streams. Also, I have no idea why this isn't working. Why, chat? Why can't I see you? Do I have backup chat? Yes, but what about second backup chat? Alright, backup chats a go until regular chat works. Your dog's eating right now? Oh, nice. Is he a good fluffy boy? Okay, hold on. 20 questions. Big dog, little dog? If it's big dog, just big old sweet dog. Little dog could either be just sass incarnate or just a sweet little angel. Those are the only two options for little dogs. Let's see, Corgi, Chihuahua. I also got Dachshunds, which I actually looked at the spelling of Dachshund recently, and I am like, that's how you say that? Because I was like, oh, what's a Duchesne? I thought it was a different breed of dog. Oh, nice. Oh, spaniels are cute. I gotta say, one of my favorite perks of my job. Hey, oh my gosh, holy, yay! My chat is working. Hold on, uh, hold on. Backup chat friendship ended. Uh, Actual chat begins. Let's go. Why does it take so long to start up? Also, I need you to be bigger. Why are you so small? Oh, baby pupper. Oh, that's adorable. Yeah, I always tell people that my favorite part of going of pest control is I get to see everyone's little fur babies, and they're always all adorable all the time. Even the ones I want to bite my head off, they're all cute. Only a year old? Aw, baby. Yeah, on Thursday I got to actually meet up again. I have a regular that I meet up every 3 months to spray their house. They have this little mini husky there, and it's also only like 13 months old, and it's so adorable. She's missing mommy. Oh, of course, that sweet innocent child. Your exterminator is always your exterminator is always in awe of your Power Rangers mecha collection. I mean, action figures are pretty cool, and I didn't say Power Rangers wasn't cool. I'm just saying anime's not my jam. Welcome, Spartan. Welcome to the live stream. I think that's a bit big. Actually, I'm going to shrink you down again. You're you're getting a bit too big. Heretic? It's only heretical if I'm speaking against the truth, which I'm not. So no heretic here. For the yeah, someone didn't pray over the machine spirit the last couple weeks. I'm blaming Desk for that one because I was specifically delegated to Desk. That's why the stream's late today. Hey, All-Star! Welcome to the stream. Oh, sorry about that. But welcome one and all. Here's to blowing up the sky. My state, we're going to blow up the sky again in about 3 weeks. I sadly don't get a day off that weekend, Sag. But here's to always being able to blow up the sky. YouTube's being really weird about tabbing in and out. Yeah, it does that sometimes, I've noticed. I don't know why. Oh gosh, I forgot about this top fan thing. Why? Why did YouTube add this? Can I just not? Is there a... I have to go to the help center in order to turn it off. Why not just have a button? Is that what this? Yeah, it's supposed to be like whoever chats the most gets put into leaderboard, and you get a little thing next to your name. It takes up so much space. If it didn't take up that much space, I would be fine with it. So settings, privacy. Gosh, it's so buried. They absolutely don't want you to do anything with it. So let's see. So I'm signed in. Nope, I don't want that to happen. Nope. Stop. Cease. Cease this heresy. Yes, all hail Queen Farfalla. Farfalla. Alright. Ah, there it goes. Settings. Privacy. And there we go. Turn off leaderboard. Yay! Okay, that should fix it? Question mark? Yeah. Yeah, I think that fixed it. Yay! Oh no, wait, Dusk was never on the leaderboard. Except very briefly. Yep, it's gone. Woo! Now I can actually see now I can actually see all y'all. But yeah, how was your Sky Explosion Day? For those that celebrated Sky Explosion Day, I didn't go see any sky explosions. I just hung out with my niece and nephews, and their grandma brought over sparklers for everyone to play with. Yeah, I think when you turn off the participation, it just means that it's like all local, so I can't say anymore, but you would have to turn it off on your end to get out of it. It's weird. Any hoozles. Hold on. This has been a busy weekend for me, I gotta admit. I was so close to being like, nah, I won't stream today. And I'm like, I didn't stream last week. I gotta stream at least once a month. I can't skip off like that. Hey, comma, welcome. I started about 15 minutes ago, ish. But welcome to the stream. Your oh, sir, your chat doesn't show in the stream. What do you mean your chat? Oh no, All Star, what happened? Like, why is YouTube like shadow banning you? Is it is it showing in live chat? No, the last one you said was YouTube's being real weird about me tabbing in and out. Just stop playing a game. Oh, what game are you playing? There's lots of good ones. What's with this crown and number? It's a new thing YouTube's doing. It's called leaderboards, and they really don't want you to turn it off. But it means that whoever chats the most, gets a little sticker next to their name saying, yeah, you chat the most." It takes up so much room that I actually just turned it off on my end. But in order to turn it off on your end, you have to go into your own settings, go into privacy, and then turn on the toggle that says turn off leaderboard participation. I I hate it. Yep, Farfellas, number one because they got in really ahead of the game with all the doggo talk. Also, I don't know why it's not showing you All Star because you were in it. And I'm showing top chat, or I'm showing live chat, so it shouldn't be doing any filtering. Did you accidentally? Did you somehow get banned? Hey, All Stars chat showed up. Woo! Welcome back, All Star. I don't know why your other ones weren't going through, but this one did. It's even weirder when things don't go through because I don't have. I have it like set to be like minimally. Uh, was the word? Be minimally restrictive, and then it just says no. We want to be more restrictive. Like no, that's not what I want, and it keeps doing it anyway. But anyway, welcome back. We saw another one of your messages. Cheers. Community moderation. No moderators. Da, 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 da. Yeah, yeah. Comments on moderation. Yeah, moderation none. I don't know why it does this, but it does. So what's the plan today? Plan today is the consequences of our actions. By our actions, I mean Idol's actions. Because last time on COG Live, uh, he took a shot of moonshine, and now we're going to see the funny fallout, and also one of my favorite lines uh, in the story, which is by Wispy. By Wispy and Cadence. Wispy going, "You bastard," and Cadence is like, "It's my game." Like, as they say, don't hate the player, hate the game. But it's my game. It's gonna be great if we get that far, which I'm very hopeful for. We're 3 for 3. Granted, I had to uh, bump up that last 3 for 3. Uh, I had to extend last stream just because I was like a paragraph left and I wanted to finish it. But this one, 100%. We're going to go for 4 for 4. I think YouTube objects to me referring to America's birthday as Explosion Day. Why? Why would it do that? I set to moderation none. And there's no banned words on my. Oh my gosh. I'm going to peek back in to these channel settings to see if there's anything I can do to really just get rid of this stupid. Don't hold anything. Officially, did Bold and Wispy get their wedding annulled, or are they still playing house? Ooh. So this is the chapter where they propose, but it's also the chapter where they're panicking because Idol made them think. Uh, Idol made them think that they were already married, that they had eloped in Prance of all places, which is great. But no, they haven't officially been married yet. If we're talking about like after Canterlot wedding, they've probably already been married by Canterlot wedding. Unfortunately, Drake can't weigh in on this because they be driving and can't text and drive at the same time. Either that or it thinks uppity colonists are a slur. Oh my gosh, I'll start. Hopefully this hopefully you'll be allowed to chat soon. I don't know who put you in a pit. It wasn't me. But yeah, I don't think they got their wedding annulled. I think they proposed and then like a couple days later the Canterlot wedding happens. And maybe they're waiting for things to cool down before they get married, or they just got married before the wedding. Who knows? They'd be enjoying that marriage benefit. Oh, 100%. I also can't wait for the rest of Idol's squads to meet up back up with him in the Crystal Empire. And also as a mayor to just visit again later on in the book. uh, her retiring after long trails in a caravan to a nice, or even better, she's not retiring, and she's like, new trade routes, I'm in. And she's going to be the first one to open up a trade route between the Crystal Empire and Saddle Arabia. Let's go. But first, I gotta figure out what what chapter number this is. Heard the phone. Herpeterd. Up, up, no, oh, no, 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 no. You go back up there. Ooh, boop. Man, we're so close. We're like 20 chapters away from like being caught up almost. Let's go. Moonshine down on me. Chapter 54. Give up for chapter 54. The day of 54. Give up for day of 54. And. Yep, 54. You have a full? It's what you're supposed to do. That is absolutely how that would go down. Oh, I gotta close the recording curtains. Hold on, chap. And yes, I do have recording curtains. Hopefully, bumping any wires won't take down the stream. Because that's what happened earlier. Hide your shame. No hiding. I only amplify my shame. It's kittens for you. Only if I was in the 20s. Oh no, I am in my 20s. Ah, no. If I had a hat PNG, I would lower a hat PNG right onto my character right now. Yeah, see? Ooh, hold on. Hold the phone. While I don't have a hat PNG, let's see. I want to do something. I want to do it. Hold on. Can I duplicate? Happy. Duplicate. Yes. How do I rotate? How do I rotate? Hold on. Transform. Clockwise? Yeah. Yeah. Hold on. And I'm going to just do Whipooski. There we go. I got a Mothie on my head. Yay! I love playing around with all of these. I collected them all. Although we still don't have references for bold or wispy. So if someone makes any sort of reference, even MS Paint, because I don't have the imagination for creating new pony models. If someone creates a picture of bold and wispy, I will make a plushie, and we will add them uh, to the friendly core because we need the whole squad here. We have to have the whole squad here. And I just remembered I forgot to draw Shining Armor. I had all of Friday to do and I didn't. Oh well. Also, fun fact: Friday was like, the 4th. I had no idea going in, but the 4th was like one of the few holidays I get off a year with this job, because most of the time it's you get Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's off. And I'm like, I know I'm not going to get most like federal holidays off now that I'm in the private sector again. But getting the 4th off, I'm like, oh yeah. I know what you could volunteer to work it, but there was like honestly no point because it's not like I got paid like holiday wage or anything like that. The office people did, but technicians didn't. And then from what I heard, like there's only 3 technicians that signed up for the holiday, and like there was like 2 appointments each. So I'm super glad I didn't sign up. It would have been such a waste of time. There's a mothy on my head. Na 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 na. A moment of oh, let's see if I join. Let's see if I join. I'll start. Are you also getting shadow banned, comma? If we could make Yankee Doodle our song, we can make uppity colonist our phrase. You have a catchphrase now. Sir, that's gay. You don't get holiday pay? No, because I work fully on commission. I don't get a base wage. I just get pure, the purest commission wage, which makes doing bedbug treatments a whole lot easier, knowing that you're going to get at least like $120 for doing it. Like $60 an hour for a bedbug treatment, not shabby at all. And like if a bedbug treatment goes over 2 hours, you, you're you're doing something wrong. You have to go through the house twice, granted, flipping mattresses and furniture and all that. But it shouldn't take 2 hours. Most of the time, it only takes an hour, and then you just got paid 120 an hour. Thankfully for the population around here, most of my appointments aren't bed bugs because those are really only in the dense urban areas, like a couple of the cities. Most of my jobs are quarterlies, so I'm getting paid like $17, which isn't great, but it's only for like 20 minutes of work. So there's give and take to all these things. I enjoy doing it. I might, maybe next summer I'll work like a reduced schedule because working 50, 60 hours a week kind of sucks sometimes. But the pay is so good. What's the issue that makes them tent the house like in TV shows? We don't do that. Um, that's I don't even know of a pest company that still does it. I think it might be termites, but even with termites, we don't tent the house. We just drill into the ground, all uh, like 6 inches apart, all the way around the house, and inject chemical like into the ground itself to create a good barrier around that. But yeah, I think tenting the house is kind of like not it's kind of like old school pest control now, because no one wants to because no one would want to hire a pest control company that would tent their house unless either it was a really unless it was like a super huge problem that they couldn't get rid of otherwise, because no one wants to be known as the person with bugs. So your company is cheap is what you're saying. No, I I'm saying it costs $640 for a bed bug treatment is what I say. I make 20% commission, and we're one of the oldest pest control companies in the state. And our prices go up on a yearly basis. Like if you want a general bug control treatment, it's like $180 base. And then it only goes up from there. If you only have spiders, it's 117. Like pest control can be pretty expensive, but most people don't want to do their own pest control, or they've exhausted all their options and they come to us to get our options because we have quote unquote access to better chemical. Honestly, most of the stuff that we treat with you can find online. Uh, our main product that we use costs like $60 on Amazon. But people don't want to do their own pest control. They don't want to go into their own crawl spaces to treat. They don't want to do all that. They have way more stuff going on with their lives. That's why our job exists. But no, you can definitely get more expensive pest control companies. Like there's one out here. They're like, they quoted someone, yeah, for $17,000, we'll take care of your mouse issue. And they were like, oh, we're going to replace like the insulation because there was rat nests in the attic. We're going to do this and that, replace all this stuff. And we were like, $184 will place a couple of rat stations around your house, or in your house. If you see any mice within the next 90 days, we'll come back out and retreat for absolutely free. And she went with us, and we haven't heard a call back. Yes, crawl spaces are the worst. Like they kill your back. For me, especially, they kill my wrists. And like, if a crawl space, if it was just crawling around a crawl space, I'd be fine with that. But no, I have to go around a crawl space carrying a 20-pound weight behind me, dragging along with me, as well as uh, having both of my hands pretty much full the entire time, and don't have like a good headlamp for this. I really need to buy a headlamp. Uh, It's going to eventually be on my docket. I used to have a good flashlight. It was like made for automotive use, because it had like a magnetic bottom. It flipped up to reveal like an even bigger light for like working under your hood or something like that. It was the perfect pest control flashlight because it would just pin into my front pocket. Had a light out front, and when I was in crawl spaces, I could just pivot it up so I could actually see ahead of me while I was crawling on all fours around people's crawl spaces. I don't know where I lost it. I know I lost it at some customer's house, and I haven't seen it in like over a month, so I think it's just actually gone. I know some people use their crawl spaces as extra storage. Yep, some people do, and sometimes they're pretty nice. Most of the time, no. Milwaukee has some good headlamps, but it's mostly for hard hats. Yeah, I have a headlamp. I just need to replace the batteries in it, and I'm just too lazy to. But no, they don't off. My work doesn't offer headlamps. The most we get in terms of light sources is um, a phone flashlight. And trying to keep that in your pocket and not just spinning out into the air is a chore in and of itself. But it's so nice to be able to just speed run through people's houses without having to flip on lights as you're going through them. It just takes way too much setup with a phone flashlight versus just clicking a button a couple of times. Yeah, Milwaukee has rechargeable ones. Yeah, my old one, my really good flashlight was USB, micro USB rechargeable. I'm still upset that it's gone because I haven't been able to find a replacement since then. Because I want to say I'm 90% sure I got it at Walmart, and I haven't been able to find it at Walmart since then. But that it is what it is. Anyway, shall we get down with all this reading? It's almost been an hour. Oh, and don't worry for Elite or All Star. If you talk in the Discord chat, I will see it. It is actually more in front of me than the actual live chat. If only they could be mirrored, like the live chat could be on the left side of the screen rather than pinned to the right. That would make it so much easier to find out who's talking. Especially in... I don't have a TIE Fighter setup. I would love to have a TIE Fighter setup, but I only have 2. I don't have the third one. So it's a TIE Fighter that's about to explode. That's what I have right now. All right. Moments of silence for the distracted. Perfect. Actually, I want to see if it... Okay, yes, it was picking up my mic. Whew, I thought it was going to go bad for a second. And what chapter did I say this was? 54? 54. I feel bad for Drake. He's spent years setting up a nice joke, but then he never labeled his chapters properly, so he expected me to do it. And then by the time he informed me of the proper chapter structure, it's far too late. So the nice chapter isn't going to fall on the nice number. Chapter 2. Oh, thank you. Much appreciated. All right, here we go. And a 1, and a 2, and a 1, 2, 3, go. Chapter 54. Moonshine down on me. I blinked, my hoofs coated in slipping glaze, and a clay pot careened off my wheel. I tilted my head, looking around. I blinked, my hoofs coated in slipping glaze, and a clay pot careened. Yeah, it was green. Now, how do you think of talking or not? What do you mean? How do I think of talking? He flubbed. Of course I'm going to flub. This is the live read. If I wasn't going to flub, I might as well just put it in a text-to-speech thing. I blinked. My hooves coated in slip and glaze, and a clay pot careened off my wheel. I tilted my head, looking at my frightfully coated armor. What am I doing here? From above, Luna's voice came down, sounding vastly relieved. Alright, now chat. How to do Luna's voice. I kinda remember it. No, quit talking. Well, you gotta say things to distract me more if you don't want me talking. Let's see. Celestia's voice is just all in the nose. Mostly because when I started this, I could not for the life of me things. You're shouting random words like I'm going to be distracted, like saying shiny. Ooh, piece of candy. Ooh, piece of candy. Ooh, piece of candy. All right. So I think Luna's voice is a little bit upper, more, right around there, top of the nose. And now you. Yeah, there we go. That's Luna's voice. All. There we go. Let's get Luna's voice up in here. Up in here. Oh no, I resized this. No, go back. Go back. Go back. No? Yes. Your Celestia sounds like she's going to ask, are we going to push the lotion on its skin? She's calmed down now. No. Well, thing is, this is why I added a voice effect to Celestia, because I had to cover up the fact that Celestia is just completely all nasal and nothing else. And then when I started voicing other female characters, I'm like, oh no, I have to actually think of how to do a female's voice. And that's why you get Topaz all the way back here. Still doesn't sound like a mare, but definitely better than my first attempt. Fun fact, the only thing separating Chrysali's voice from Celestia's voice is which audio effect goes on them. They both sound like this, and I just do a different voice effect, which is going to be really fun when I do the Canterlot chapter, because then I can do the same effect and then hide on a little buzz underneath to point out that it is a changeling or that is Chrysalis, and I love it. Use hissing. Hissing's a cool. Try spinning. Spinning's a cool trick. That one picture of her looking at you POV, I'll find it. That's gonna be fun. But yeah, no, Celestia's way deeper than it should be. I don't know why I decided to make her sound so deep. Mostly because I could not voice act. And now it's far too late to change the mind on the voice acting trail. Helps to get your tongue and larynx in the right position? Absolutely. Absolutely. I know more about you every day. That's why I'm having so much more fun, like, expanding my repertoire. Also, why I only save some characters for an Irish voice. Or if it's a generic guard pony, they always kind of sound the same. They always kind of sound more like the drill. They kind of always sound more like the drill sergeant, because I can't do any other voices for a drill sergeant. And the only difference between cadence, because cadence is kind of light up in the back of the throat. Don't take that out of context. And she's just up here all the time. And then if I want to do shining, it's more the back of the throat. Yeah, it's kind of down more. You have to switch it more back down over here. And that's more shining armor, because he's surfer bro. They should sound like Steve. What does Steve say? Oh, yeah. I am Steve. I still need to watch that movie. They all sound like Black Jack. Or Jack Black. Black Jack or Jack Black? I have a blackjack shirt. And then if I want to do cadence, it's kind of the top of the throat. Oh, if I went a little bit further back, it would start sounding a lot more like Topaz, which, it's all about the performance of it as well. That's why it's called acting. Oh, it's only with my voice, but it's acting. Now I kind of sound like Leonardo now. From the Owl House. There's an Owl House abridged now? I haven't even watched the original one. Now there's an abridged one? I mean, it makes sense. I have all of them. I just haven't watched any of them. No idea why. I just don't have a ton of time. As referenced by me not uploading a chapter since like the beginning of this year. I'm hoping to change that soon-ish. I'm off next Saturday, so hopefully that'll give me time to do something. It was there as it was coming out. Actually, probably makes a lot more sense. But also the issue is that I have such a lower register, but most of my lower register just kind of sounds like idle at this point. So I can't really do many other voices in my lower register, except for idle. And maybe an yep from Big Mac. I'm still waiting for their season 3. Ooh, yeah, that'll be fun. That'll be super fun. Oh wait, no, I needed to get back to... You should get back to Princess Luna. Oh, thank Harmony. Oh, thank Harmony. Oh, thank Harmony. Something crashed down next to me and shattered noisily. It appeared to be a clay figurine of one of the figures from a recent play. No, you don't. Oh, this is great. Something... Oh, man. Something crashed down next to me and shattered noisily. It appeared to be a clay figurine of one of the figures from a recent play I had been to, the expression forever locked in confusion at its newly fragmented self. I scowled, using my magic to sweep up the shards aside and dump them into a basket. Princess Luna fluttered down, looking quite sheepish. We decided it might be best to keep thee in isolation after your... We believe it might be... We believe. He's breaking containment. We decided it might be best to keep thee in isolation after you began to become somewhat scattered. We decided it might be best to keep thee in isolation after you began to become. Gosh, V, why did you have to put why'd you have to put this nonsense in my script? I have to be Princess of the Night over here. You don't want to make her more... Luna is ill. You don't want to make her more ill, do you? I assure you, Farfella, I am not ill whatsoever. I am completely and utterly recovered and in a clean writ of health. Where is everyone else? I don't know. Maybe they're fleeing because you're breaking containment. I also love that you activated one of the hidden emojis that we have in this stream. I don't think it was written to be read aloud. Yeah, no shit. Oh, God. Gosh, Luna got sassy over there. Luna needs more anger in your voice. Oh gosh, I'm distracted myself now. We decided it might be best to keep thee in isolation after you began to become. We decided it might be best to keep thee in isolation after you began to become somewhat scattered. 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 I don't know which one I like better. Scattered. Scattered. Scat. Oh, Luna don't need no isolation. Where are the servants? This soup isn't going to heat itself. What? Oh my gosh. Scattered. Scattered. She peered over at a collection of admittedly amateur figurines. Though I noted that the latter ones did seem to be far more accurate, I could distinctly tell Princess Celestia, Princess Cadence, Moth Chaser, Shining, and at least a dozen other guards apart by That's a long sentence. V, why'd you have to put in a long sentence? She peered over at a collection of admittedly amateur figurines. Though I noted that the latter ones did seem to be far more accurate, I could distinctly tell Princess Celestia, Princess Cadence, Moth Chaser, Shining, and at least a dozen other guards apart by various distinct features I had portrayed. Though, truthfully, the biggest difference between the unfired and unglazed princesses seemed to be, Oh gosh, I read a line twice. No! You think Luna and Honey might ever meet? I think they did, off camera. Or off page, I should say. I mean, it's gonna be interesting. Because Luna does have the night shift going on. So, maybe. It's very possible. No, it's off page. Or off stage, as we learned in last chapter. Oh no. Where did I end off? To be far more accurate, I could distinctly tell Princess Celestia, Princess Cadence, Moth Chaser, Shining, and at least a dozen other guards apart by I could distinctly tell Princess Celestia, Princess Cadence, Moth Chaser, Shining, and at least a dozen other guards apart by various distinct features I had portrayed. Though truthfully the biggest difference between the unfired and unglazed princesses seemed to be size and hairstyle, without their typical garb. Without their typical They were clearly later works of greater skill, and this lack of attention to detail was odd. I grew briefly concerned until I realized that besides them sat tiny versions of crowns and shoes. Board game. Board game. But it's on a screen, so ha, you're wrong. But it is a book, so it's off page. And also, there's no screens in Horseland. Only plays. So it's either off page or off stage. Do you want to see the doggo? Yes, upload a picture of the doggo. Let's go. I would love to see a picture of the doggo. Board game night will no doubt be interesting. Art thou well? How did I get a potter's wheel into your room? How did I get a potter's wheel into your room? I was I found, well and truly exhausted, as well as thoroughly confused. But it's on our screens. It may be on your screens, but you're just looking through a portal into another universe where a horse version of me is actually reading through all these characters, reading a script presented. And you're actually just hiring all of us as actors. What are you hiring us for? No idea. I was told it was going to happen later on after we finished our contract. Thou art consider Thou art considerably stronger than we had come to expect for one thing. For another, you cobbled it together from various bits. That stone wheel is an heirloom, and we would very much like it back unscathed whence thou art done. Thou art considerably stronger. Thou art considerably stronger than we had come considerably. Thou art considerably stronger than we had come to expect for one thing. For another, you cobbled it together from various bits. That stone wheel is an heirloom, and we would very much like it back unscathed whence thou art done. Whence thou art done. It should be thou art, honestly. Although it is a mixture of modern and ancient Equish, so I guess I shouldn't complain too hard. Oh, you're not going to where is Doggo? Oh, it's an off topic. You should put everything in a live stream chat because I won't be able to see it if it's not in live stream chat. Oh, that's a cute doggo. That is such a cute doggo. Oh, don't start on that. What is Equestria's tech level? The military is medieval. They have steam locomotive, modern hospitals, and dud step. Plus the Ponyville hydroelectric dam. Honestly, I feel Pony Society is a mishmash of different styles, mostly because of magic. Because when you have magic to support your infrastructure, the only thing that's really going to evolve is stuff that's either in the arcane field to better other industries, which are mostly felt in other technological hubs like Manhattan, Las Pegasus, or Canterlot. Whereas the smaller outlying towns like Ponyville, they mostly rely on uh, Earth pony workmanship. I didn't learn anything. I was right all along. Uh, and they tend to like to live more humble and down to earth vibes, at least in terms of Ponyville, for sure. So they didn't need to think of anything technological to like actually advance the town all too much. I mean, you see that with Super Speedy Sizer Squeezy 6000. Yes, it was Flim and Flam trying to sell technology to them, but they ultimately did not want it. They did not want, nor did they not care for such hullabaloo. And they probably only had the hydroelectric dam for the hospital because for the hospital slash DJ Pone Three's house, because mostly due to like them not really needing electricity. They're still reading by candlelight most of the time, or maybe magical lamps. The hospital being like some of the more technologically advanced part of Equestria makes sense because medical science is always going to advance in a society. Whereas ponies seem to live by the way of if it ain't broke, don't fix it, and that's why their military is more medieval than what their technology level suggests should be otherwise. Like they have gunpowder, but it hasn't been corrupted to be used as like bullets or anything like that. They have crossbows, but that's about the extent of their firearm. And when it comes to things like the military, they why would they need a stronger military? They have four goddesses and a babe and a nuke, Flurry Heart, uh, ready to go at a moment's notice. So they don't really need a military. And if something takes out Celestia, What's the military going to do? What's average Joe Schmo going to do with combat tactics that these immortal gods haven't been able to do in their like 1,000-year reigns? That's why I think the technological prospects of them is like that. And when it comes to like entertainment as well, and they keep getting their asses kicked, well, that's just the Worf effect. It's like, oh no, they beat up Worf. What are we gonna do? They got Worf. Oh no. uh, the Worf effect is super strong with MOP because I feel like most of the time their answers could just be, I friendshipped it so hard until it became non-existent. So when something comes around that does it, I also did see an explanation for why Queen Chrysalis beat up Celestia so bad. Is because Celestia couldn't bring her full power to bear, or else she would just basically explode the castle off the mountain. And that's why she had to just let herself lose, because bringing any more power into the battle would just hurt everyone she was trying to protect anyways. So it was better to just stall Chrysalis as much as possible for everyone else to get away safely. Which I like that explanation a lot more than, oh, the power of love was this. You were defeated by, and that's the power of love. Like, I get it. It's a trope that they'll be defeated and whatnot. But honestly, I I don't doubt that the princesses could actually handle themselves in a fight. It's just they keep on fighting things either at or above their power level. Discord, way above their power level. Um, the bell infused evildoers, definitely above their power level. Um, nature itself, yeah, they ponies have proven that they can't beat back nature that hard, or else why would the Everfree Forest even exist in the first place? Like them holding back the weather during the crystalling episodes, that just kind of proves that they that they are uh, that they are extremely powerful. It's just nature's more so, especially in the frozen north. They got no combat experience. Yeah, I mean that's fair, but like, do they even need it? They had a peaceful kingdom for 1,000 years. Either they beat all their enemies into the ground, and then they didn't need it anymore. Oh, they're so good at diplomatic relations that no one's ever thought to try and enslave the Pony Kingdom for their own means. Or they're just like, or they do the whole thing of, yeah, you wouldn't want us to be out of the picture, would you? It would be a shame if the sun were to just destroy your entire land now, would it? Got combat respect. Respect, I said. Well, I saw respect, and I'm like, those two words don't really. I don't know what those words would mean in context with each other, so I assumed you typoed it because it wouldn't be the first time. I feel like it would have been nice to see the guard actually be effective at scale for once. I mean, uh, they did get flurry. That's about as effective as they were. Was they caught a small child? I mean, they were marching out to capture the small child because they couldn't fly there or teleport there because magic was dying. But they were getting there. They were getting there. They were on the march. They were going to capture that tiny child. You're still on this paragraph, slacker. You and Farfella can beef it out in the chat as I get back to it. Also, yeah, you have no idea what they get given no respect when they need to combat. Yes, they do not get respected. Like I said, it's the Worf effect. You have to take to show how powerful your villain is. You have to take out the most powerful person on your team, which in this case is usually the Alicorns or the Elements. And that's just how it is, unfortunately. But it does fall into the trope of oh no, this guy actually that powerful because he gets his ass kicked every single episode. Once thou art done. Her Majesty's tenses were slipping more than usual, belaying the truth of her concern. I can scarcely recall what I have done this day, I admitted, feeling a weariness sink into me even as the remains of the concoction I had drunk wore off. It was as though my thoughts were made of fog, slowly lifting. I feel indescribable. It was not like being drunk, I decided. A hangover was a feeling of abject. It was not like being drunk, I decided. A hangover was a feeling of abject. I can't recall the time they ever won a fight. I mean, they won against nature. Very brief. I mean, it was a stalemate. They stalemated against nature. That's about as far as they got. um, Everything else they threw Twilight at until the problem went away. It was not like being drunk. It was not like being drunk, I decided. A hangover was a feeling of abject. Why do I still say abject? I know it's abject. It was not like being drunk, I decided. A hangover was a feeling of abject misery. This was oddly comfortable, while being somehow disconcerting. I had accomplished something, I was sure, while being absolutely certain that I could have done far, far more if only I were more of me. I did not even know how to feel about that feeling, and thus I chose to ignore it. Oh, I saw that picture. I've seen that picture before. Oh, that's a good one. Who was the one that did that? I have no idea. But yeah, that's a good one. That's a really good one. The princesses win fights and flashbacks. It all just happened 1,000 years ago. That's true. They won against Nightmare Moon and Discord and T-Rex and a couple other ones. Oh, and Sombra. They won against Sombra. They briefly won, and then to show how much more powerful the villains got, they have to get their ass kicked in the present time. But yeah, you wanting to see the guard being actually effective in full force, you and Josh Scorcher both. The Moon Princess considered, still looking concerned. Perhaps thou art a lightweight? At my baleful glance she amended. Or perhaps we should have considered the size of the sample. It would appear that it is most potent. Is all moonshine of such nature? I can honestly say that I have never known the like of the beverage you have given me. 'Twas as cool as morning dew, as crisp as a nightfall, and as lovely as the moon at full harvest. I messed up that last line. No, victory has defeated you. Batman, victory has defeated you. I can honest I can honestly say that I have never known the like of the beverage you have given me. 'Twas as cool as morning dew, as crisp as a nightfall, and as lovely as the moon at harvest. I blinked, though the princess only snickered fondly. It was quite good, I know that much. It has certainly inspired you to poetry, and from what you have done this night, I would say it may be best that I dilute my efforts. One can only allow so much pentam, pentameter. Pentameter. I've heard this word spoken twice. Hold on. Hold. Why aren't you pronouncing this? You should be. You should be pronouncing this. Right into my ear. Hold on. To Google! Why isn't it working? It used to work. So good. Pentameter. Pentameter. That's why I figured it was pentameter. 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 pen pen pentameter. 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 Is it because? Oh, that would do it. Hold on. Hold the phone. That's why I have it.
Pentameter.
Pentameter.
Pentameter. Yep, I was saying it right the second and third time. Pentameter. I knew it was pentameter. I figured. I figured it was pentameter. Eventually. I know that much. I know that much. Pentameter. Alright, pentameter. Gotcha. It has certainly inspired you to poetry, and from what you have done this night, I would say it may be best that I dilute my efforts. One can only allow so much pentameter in their life. Poetry? For me? The absolute horror. Fair, your majesty. Fair, your majesty. Poetry? For me? The absolute horror. Fair, your majesty. I gave the figurines a closer inspection, less for detail and more to distract myself, when I realized something appeared to be missing. I do note that I did not make a figure of you. This must be rectified. Say no more on the matter, Corporal. You did indeed create a shaping of me, though it was more detailed than I had ever expected. It was a labor of one who has great familiarity with me, and I confess I was both flattered and embarrassed. I was suddenly fearful that if I allowed you to continue working on it, 'twould eventually develop a life of its own. There was a certain fayness in the air, and I sought to distract you with work on making figurines of my sister and niece. Nope, these are too close together. Oh my gosh, someone did. I forgot about this picture. Someone did make a picture of Bold and Wispy. Is that Wispy? Oh, that must be Wispy. I forgot about that. Shame that Bold's hair got cut off, because now I'm going to have to figure out how to do Bold's mane, which is the main part of why I wanted people to draw, because I can't. Also, welcome, co-op. So you were slacking again? Never. Yeah. I actually found out that one of our favorite picks was actually like the artist yeeted themselves from the internet, which is always a shame when an artist yeets themselves from the internet. But they also made it impossible for it to be like held on hosting sites now. Thankfully I have a copy. It's the one where all the mayors are fawning over Idol, every single one of them. But yeah, no, you can't find that anywhere. And I looked up, it used to have a spot in Derpy Buru, but the artist deleted all their artwork from there. It said they were on a do not post list for that site, and they deleted everything else associated with them. So now it's impossible to favorite their art anymore, which I'm sad about. Hopefully they'll come back soon. Hopefully they'll come back. But yes, this is a good pick. Honestly, I didn't realize that was Wispy. I thought it was someone else. I don't know why. I'm like, oh yes, a foal. But now I look closer and I'm like, ah, Wispy. Though some color corrections will have to be changed because this is very blue. The Wayback Machine? Possibly, but don't you have to have the link uh, to it in order for it to way back to? I'm not sure. I don't use the Wayback Machine that often. But luckily I have it saved. It's saved very securely on both mine and Google servers. So it's not disappearing anytime soon. I posted it fairly recently, which is why I'm not going to post it again. But it's a very good pick. Need to create more. Like I need to create more artwork for this story. It's so good. This must be rectified. Say no more on the matter. Say more. No, say no more. No more. No more. No more. No more. No more. Say no more on the matter. Ugh. Say no more on the matter, Corporal. You did indeed create a shaping of me, though it was more detailed than I had ever expected. It was a labor of one who has great familiarity with me, and I confess I was both flattered and embarrassed. I was suddenly fearful that if I allowed you to continue working on it, 'twould eventually develop a life of its own. There was a certain fayness in the air, and I sought to distract you with work on making figurines of my sister and niece. But I would like to keep it for myself. Perhaps that is selfish to take away. Perhaps that is selfish to take from a creator that which they have made, but it is difficult to describe the knowledge of how much care and focus was put into such a thing. A wry smile tugged at her features. Then, when you began to carve individual A wry smile tugged at her features. Then, when you began to carve individual feathers upon my sister, I suggested the others. I hope you do not mind. Think think nothing of it, Your Highness. If your efforts led to mine, then consider the fruits of those efforts to be well-deserved tribute. Oh, that's a good pick, too. No, it's not that one. It is... Hold on, you're making me log in to my photo vault in order to bring this out. Stop being a slacker and you could draw more. Yes, I will stop slacking after working 60 hours a week. I will come and draw and read more and edit and and cook for the and do all this stuff. It's no problem. Not at all. And where is... There it is. There it is. Um, it it is this one. If it will let me increase the size. There we go. Hold on. Let me embiggen it. Embiggen it so I can copy and paste. Embiggen. Embiggen. There we go. This one. Yeah, that's the one. Although while I was looking through lots of the old idol artwork, I found original idol drawings. And I forgot about these. They're so adorable. And I will upload them swiftly. I think they're from a crazy guy. I think that was what it was from. Oh, never mind. Forgot about that one. Yeah, no, this is the one that you can. That's the one that you can no longer find anywhere on the intranet. And I think these two, his eyes when he's speaking, his eyes sparkle when speaking. The newest feature of Idol, and it horrifies him. But I think the OG Idol pics are from Crazy Guy. Crazy Guy. That was a loud dog bark. That was a really loud one. I don't know where those came from, honestly. These ones are good too. I'm just popping in all the fan art that I have. Because why not? Yep. I forgot to set myself on Do Not Disturb for the majority of this. There we go. Perfect. Yeah, a lot of these are great. Oh wait, wasn't this one an animation? Yeah! It was a blink. It was Blinky Blink. Copy. And is hopefully the gift survives Discord. It does. Let's go. Fool's Play comes out using an idol. Gosh. What would it be called? A good guy doll at that point, too? A good cult doll? Or would it just still be a, or would it just be a friendly doll? Yep, and there we go. Deserved tribute. A well-deserved tribute. And I felt it best to contain you here. And I felt it best to contain you here as you were further distracted. Some business about convincing Moth Chaser to teach you how to make some sort of figurine one hears instead of sees. Her countenance turned chiding. Thou should not play with her heart so lightly, idle. Though you do play a part in a number of her dreams, hers are delicate things. Mostly. Oh gosh, I lost my Luna voice. Luna, come back. Come back. Luna, come back. You can blame it all on me. There was something that I couldn't live without. Luna, come back. And kind of fool would see. A wannabe necromancer gets more than he bargained for when he tries to possess an officer-friendly doll, only to get his ass kicked. Isn't it established in the lore that a friendly doll actually has an emotion crystal embedded in them? So they actually can, like, briefly either animate or they actually have a spell interlaced with them that's powered by the child's joy to basically protect them from in their dreams and possibly in real life. And I felt it best. There we go. And I felt it best. I hope you do not mind. And I felt it best to contain you here as you were further distracted. Some business about convincing Moth Chaser to teach you how to make some sort of figures one hears instead of sees. Her countenance turned chiding. Thou should not play with her heart so lightly, idle. Though you do play a part in a number of dreams, hers are delicate things. She paused, considering. Mostly. Mostly? Mostly? 'Tis none of your business what her dreams are, Corporal. I only warn you that you can do great harm to her. Thou do have something of a reputation. I flushed. Rumors and nonsense, Your Highness. And the business with the sock? I lowered my head, acknowledging my mistakes. I was under a mistaken understanding of what it meant, and none thought to correct me, as none have before brought the matter up in my presence. Much makes sense now. It's a security feature so the doll can protect the kid they belong to? Absolutely. And even better? Well, actually, no. But we'll not have it be a secret way to harvest love for all the changelings of Equestria. We'll just leave it wholesome. We shall leave it wholesome. Actually, Flim and Flam are make bad counterfeits that does steal love, but they have no idea because they just messed up the spell that bad. I was under a mistaken understanding of what it meant, and none thought to correct me, as none have before brought the matter up in my presence. Much makes sense now. She looked skeptical, but let the matter lie. Well, I suppose I cannot truly I suppose I truly cannot claim superiority in any such matter. Sister had quite a laugh when I complained how difficult it was to peel grapes nowadays. I had never even really considered that one simply didn't have to. Still, it feels strange. Apparently, there exist varieties that still require it, but. A shrug. A shrug. Some habits are harder to break than others, I suppose. A wan smile. A wan smile bloomed even as she yawned, taking note of the first rays of the sun breaking above the horizon. Such as my being an unrepentant night owl. Go gets. Such as. Such as my being an unrepentant night owl. Get something to eat and rest. Your replacement will doubtless be here momentarily. Get something. Your replacement. Your replacement will doubtless be here momentarily. And if you even open your mouth to tell me I cannot be left unguarded, I shall cast you out of this tower through yon balcony. I would love to see this featherfall enchantment you have for myself, after all. I gave the princess a tight smile that very clearly did not open my mouth, saluted at her good-natured wink, and went to see to her orders. One could always approve of being ordered to breakfast, even if I was not sure even if even if I was not sure I felt like sleep, I wanted to make, to build, to I don't even know what. Not to sing, but to compose. Not to paint, but to design. And I knew nothing of these things. I conceded, and thus knew not even where to begin. Very strange, but interesting. Luna's moonshine would have to be sampled in the future, though under far more controlled circumstances. If you read Colonel Hooves, there's a chapter where Idol is fighting a nightmare to protect a foal. I read that chapter. It's actually it's actually accidentally the only chapter I've read from that apart from the first chapter. I don't know how I keep on accidentally reading bits and parts of stories rather than reading it start to finish. But I read the first chapter, and then I read the chapter where they're at the ball and he discovers Thorax, or Circe discovers Thorax. Then at the ball where Idol discovers Thorax. Then the whole transformation sequence, and him and Officer Friendly fighting off against nightmares. That's all I can remember right now. Very good story. Very good story. I need to read it eventually. At least you read a chapter where you didn't really need context. I mean, fair. Fair. Uh, them watching Flurry was adorable as well. More controlled circumstances. Be sampled in the future, though under far more though though under far more controlled circumstances. Early breakfast or not, I was not expecting to find another princess being accosted on my way to my room. Moreover, I rather didn't want my machinations discovered quite so early. Given that this accostation was not a violent one, but far more like the outrage Celestia often. Given that Given that this accostation was not a violent one, but far more like the outrage Celestia often. A few hundred more words, and the next chapter of Idol and the Mysterious Unicorn will be finished. Woo! I will also get to that eventually as well. I am slowly building up proper habits again, and reading at night is one of those that I really desperately want to do again because I love reading. As you can see, I love reading. It's one of my main hobbies. I just don't make enough time for it, at night especially. Hopefully that will change in the near future. But alas, let us continue. Reading's the best. 100%. I just wish I had more time to do it. I also wish that like more audiobooks existed for the stuff that I want to read. So if someone else wants to narrate the entirety of of Colonel Hooves, you're free to do so. I mean, I will eventually read through through Colonel Hooves. Maybe that will be my first reading of it is on stream as I'm narrating it. I did promise to fully read through the Deathly Idol and the Deathly Tired Princess. After all, it'd be a shame not to also do the sequel. Given that this accostation was not a violent one, but far more like the outrage Celestia often suffered from the nobility, I confess I may have tried to slip by more or less unnoticed. I can't believe you married us! Cadence blinked. What? What? The pink princess's face scrunched in confusion. What? Bold blustered. Married me and Wispy. Cadence pursed her lips, chewing on the inside of her cheek as she considered. Wispy and I didn't? It was practice. There was no witness, and I even specifically said I wanted to practice taking vows. There was no kissing of the bride or groom, so even if it wasn't under false pretenses, I wouldn't consider that legally binding. It's part of the ceremony. And an important part that I very intentionally left out because I knew you'd probably do it. Idol said that Shining wouldn't go that far and he'd still be witness. Oh, that's very true. If he didn't. If. All the edits I'll have to make. Actually, I have an archived copy of it, so it's going to be the OG version, and we'll bring out the ding. We'll bring back the ding just for you. The real OGs know about the ding. Oh, that's very true. If he hadn't cast a shield around us to keep things silent, it's the sort of thing that starts rumors. I mean, yes, I told Idol I was probably going to be presiding over a few personal ceremonies. Gosh, this is a long run-on sentence. V, why? Oh, that's very true. If I hadn't cast... If... Oh, that's very true. If he hadn't cast a shield around us to keep things silent, it's the sort of thing that starts rumors. I mean, yes, I told Idol I was probably going to be presiding over a few personal ceremonies, and I was nervous, and he... Oh! Her hoof went to her mouth, but she couldn't quite hide the twisted combination of amusement and aghastness. I began considering making an escape. That is sneaky. Or, that is sneaky. I cannot believe he insisted I take the two of you. Wait a minute. He told you to take us? Yes, escape was becoming a very attractive option. If I scaled the wall and used a window, I might even make it, but my impromptu breakfast would... If I scaled the wall and used a window, I might make it, but my impromptu breakfast was still uneaten, and I feared it would grow cold in the crisp morning air. I would have to rely on being unnoticed in the commotion. Wispy's voice breathed in my ear. You bastard. You bastard. How much of a bastard should Idol be? Breathed in my ear. You bastard. You bastard. Apparently so attractive that the option escaped me, as it turned out. Apparently so attractive that the option escaped me, as it turned out. I cursed its cowardice even as I prepared for both the onslaught and cold oatmeal. I have spent the last 24 hours figuring out how to explain to my parents that I eloped with my cult friend in France, and now I find out I haven't actually eloped? I may have willfully misinterpreted the situation. Also, I was under the impression you two were not in a relationship when I made such arrangements. It was the two of you who decided to go along with it. I am going to kill you. This is not idle chatter. This is a declaration to murder. You're going to die. I might even laugh maniacally. A professional declaration of intent to villainize. It is good to maintain professional standard for such things, though I did presume you... breathed him. Refresh my memory on what was this scene. So, Wispy and Bold went on a diplomatic mission to France with Shining and Cadence, and Cadence wanted to practice her vows. Cadence told Idol that she was nervous about vows and she wanted to practice some, so he suggested that she practice with Bold and Wispy because they were not in a relationship, so it wouldn't be that awkward. And then, during the after effects of the whole Discord situation, while they were cleaning up Canterlot, he may have misinterpreted the situation to make it seem like they had eloped in Canterlot by complete accident, because surely the Princess of Love would never play such games. There was no witnesses except for her soon-to-be husband. And how romantic it was to be in France the entire time. It's a good fun thing. Also, welcome Lav. Welcome to the stream. It's been a while. Also, welcome Seth to the stream. It has been a long while, and hopefully we'll do more of these. I don't remember that scene off hoof. It happened last chapter, so be ready to receive the next chapter of Changeling of the Guard. Or that chapter is like 3 chapters behind where we are right now, so soon, TM. my boy Idol being a prince of all Equestria. I mean, it feels like it at this point. He has enough ears of royalty. He has the connections to do it. He just won't take that. He'll have to be forced to take it. Also, hi back, Lev. Hi. What can go wrong? Absolutely everything, and we're here to watch the train wreck, which Idol would absolutely enjoy watching the train wreck, but he would hope that there were no innocent... he'd either hope that there were no innocent ponies on board, and if any were injured, he would thank them for their sacrifice for taking down the mighty beast. The last chapter I saw was spelunking on an empty stomach? Sorry, empathy stomach. Which one was the spelunking one? If it's the one with... Also wouldn't want to be in it when that happened. Very true. Let's see, the spelunking? The lastest? Oh, the lastest wrote. Okay. So not the audio chapters, just the chapters. But yeah. I thought they were talking about Ruincy. Runancy. Ruincy? Runancy. 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 Nancy. The Nancy chapter. No spoilers here. We're reading through the book. This is only spoilers. Instead of OnlyFans, it's only spoilers. Sorry. We are currently reading chapter 54. Chapter 54. Which one? Moonlight Shine Down on Me? Moonshine Down on Me. Yep, Moonshine Down on Me. Actually, I just realized I haven't saved this whole time. This could be a disaster if the power went out, which it actually did on Friday. Hold on. Hold the phone. I need to protect what is mine. Moonshine Down on Me. There we go. Yeah, I know I need to save more. The thing is that usually I'm much better at saving. I just haven't been recently. Idle and Topaz haven't had an official wedding yet. Oh, they're going to keep on playing Will They, Won't They for a while now. Well, wanted to pop in, say good work with the reading of the story. Looking forward to hearing more. Thanks. Thank you so much. I appreciate hearing these. Actually makes me more motivated to get chapters out, which I will hopefully find more time to do in the future, especially now that I'm more used to summer work. And especially since I got actually good shoes for my current job, so hopefully I won't be dying and exhausted at the end of every shift. Hopefully that's the hope. If it's a false hope, then it's one I will tackle in the winter time because that's when I will actually have time. They haven't. The two are still getting used to being together. Eh. Also, your voice is now my official headcanon for how Idol sounds. Just fits perfectly. Aw, thanks. I always thought his voice would always be the deeper, more monotone. And I'm loving how the more we go along with the book, the more loose he gets with his monotoneness. Because he doesn't, because he's not just monotone. It's just his reactions are very slight, which is why like the first couple chapters were kind of harder to do because it was kind of quote unquote boring. Those chapters were fun to do because I was voicing one of my favorite characters. But it was boring from a reading standpoint, and that's why I really leaned into Topaz because she's just so upbeat and jittery and talking at like a mile a minute because she's so excited about what she's talking to you about. Oh yes, if you do want to read about headcanons, join on uh, chapter discussions when they first drop, anything. The link to the Changing of the Guard Discord is at the end of every single chapter, and I believe it's also in my description. Go ahead and join it. I'm not usually there. I lurk, but I do post some pictures here or there. Has Idle met Mod Pie? Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Been enjoying my time there. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Thanks for joining. There's more chaos in the future, and it always gets more lively and active anytime a new chapter drops. Can't wait to see what V's cooking up in this next one. uh, but yeah, we have fun with this. But yeah, to do the cringy YouTuber thing, like that, press the like button, smash the subscribe button, and follow for more. No, I can't do I can't do YouTuber voice. What is life without a bit of chaos? A miserable pile of secrets. Wait, no, I think that's something else. I'll figure out what life is without chaos. Definitely a little bit more on the boring side. Chrysalis? Maybe, I mean, Chrysalis is kind of chaotic in her own right. did presume you. Did presume you. There we go. I moved my microphone. Why did I move my microphone? It was in the perfect place. It is good to maintain professional standards for such things, though I did presume I would be the villain in this role and you would be the disgruntled hero seeking a right to great wrong. It is good to maintain professional standards for such things, though I did presume I would be the villain in this role and you would be the disgruntled hero seeking to right a great wrong. Oh, no, bring it back. I accepted, a bit disappointed. Might I recommend an axe? No, no plotting! The Pegasus fumed, working herself into even greater storm clouds. Perhaps my meddling had been rather roughshod. I feared another physical correction was incoming. For harmony's sake, Idol, I had actually gotten used to the idea, and now I'm not even. Bold's ears flicked back at those words, though he truly looked more flummoxed than angry. Wait, you're used to the idea? Wispy suddenly put me in mind of Moth Wispy suddenly put me in mind of Moth Chaser when I had invited her to my room, and 100 other moments to a lesser degree. I definitely had to resolve that matter. It was odd, seeing someone so bold suddenly so tentative, but now the feelings between them were still strong, still passionate. But now there was a sudden shyness between them. Neither of them thought the other had considered this relationship serious, I knew, but they couldn't keep their hooves off one another. It had been a long-standing game between them, played for so long that neither knew how to break the stalemate. Cadence had once compared it to a strange game of removing and replacing blocks in a tower, forever raising the stakes, yet never quite tumbling it down, even as they stripped stability from it. I fear I might have made a mistake in that reading, but I don't know where. So I'm going to continue as if I didn't. Idle Hazmat mod, it's in the later part of On the Rocks and later reference when Idle tours Ponyville. Yes, that is true. It takes place in the Manhattan chapters. Chapters? Chapters. I know Ponyville's 3 chapters. Did Yeah, Manhattan got 2 chapters, I think. Justice from Above and all that. Sounds about right. Yeah, we'll go with that. Sounds right. Any hoozles. More concerning, it was difficult even for More concerning, it was difficult for even me to be so willfully ignorant when faced with such a clear and obvious mirror. And yet, I still relied on emotional feedback more than visual, visible or audible. More concerning, it was difficult even for me to be so willfully. More concerning, it was difficult for even me. More concerning, it was difficult for even me to be so willfully ignorant when faced with such a clear and obvious mirror. And yet, I still relied on emotional feedback more than visual or audible. I had somehow never managed to note Moth Chaser's interest, had in fact presumed that it could not exist, because I would have felt it, but then her interest was in Idle Hooves, the pony, who I was, but since Idle Hooves was not a real pony, I could not be aware of the emotion. Or perhaps it was something closer to the curse that Princess Cadence herself suffered. I'm unable to know what feelings were directed at her. But no, that did not track. I was aware of every other being. But no. But no, that did not track. I was aware of every other feeling directed towards me, I was sure. I feared it would have to be related to the orders. But no, that did not track. I was aware of every other feeling directed towards me, I was sure. I feared it would have to be I feared it would have to be related to the orders. Damn, had Luna's brew had made me. Oh man, if I still had the ding around, that would be a perfect ding right there. Damn, had Luna's had Luna's brew made me introspective on top of inspired? A dozen projects started, nearly asking Moth Chaser to teach me about sound sculptures, and who knows what else I had begun, that Luna had either not noticed or not thought worth mentioning. Worse still, I was ignoring the results of my meddling with Bold Big Flanks and Wispy Nimbus. Not so much that I'm not used to us, as I don't think I really minded the idea that we weren't just dating, and that since I had already figured out how I was going to tell my folks, the worst part of it was not so much that I was used to us, as I don't think I was. Oh gosh, it's reading quickly is always the worst. Not so much that I was used to us, as I don't think I really minded the idea that we weren't just dating, and that since I had already figured out how I was going to tell my folks, the worst part of it was. Oh, good. Wispy was rambling. I hadn't missed much. Bold was considering all of this, nodding slowly. So, what you're saying is you wouldn't be against marrying me? Well, no, I wouldn't. I just. Do you want to get married? Bold asked blithely. Cadence faced Hoof with both hooves and glared at me so fiercely I began to wonder if there was a celestial body she could banish me to. Celestia blanished. Celestia banished Luna to the moon. Supposedly, Luna could banish her sister to the. Luna. Celestia banished Luna to the moon. Supposedly, Luna could banish her sister to the sun. Where would Celestia. Where would Cadence send me? Where would Cadence send me? Not if you ask like that, you big. Not if you ask like that, you big. Oh, well then. Bold took a knee and Wispy's jaw dropped. Cadence's followed moments later. I allowed myself a grin. I did do good work. But I had to admit Bold's proposal the second time was far better, and that might have swayed Wispy more than any of my meager manipulations. I chose to make my exit in the more appropriately dignified and standard manner, past the gawping princess, who was only now overcoming shock. And standard matter, past the past the gawping princess. Somehow it's more fun seeing him reach the end of a chapter than not finishing. True. Although I think this chapter is just a bit too long, and it's already been 2 hours. Gosh, that is... I'm not even halfway through this. I'll probably just finish out this section, and then I'll probably have to disconnect for today, just because I have to go to work tomorrow, and I have so much more to do. Oh, I'm at the pool later, guys. Bye, Warlord. Have a good one. All right, hold on. Oh gosh, Cadence. You're a jerk. There we go. You're a jerk. I hate you, and I can't believe that worked. Cadence pouted prettily. Do not hate the player, hate the game, I quoted with all the authority I could muster. It's my game, she stomped in mock outrage. I had a whole thing planned, roses, music, moonlight, they would have been swooning. Those two do not do swooning, Katie. Yeah. Those two do not do swooning, Katie. Yeah. Those two do not do swooning, Katie. They enjoy the scandal. I'll get you for this, Idol. Don't you think I won't? That is 2 threats of villainy in one day. I feel strangely accomplished. A princess this time. Oh, hush, go and eat your sugar soup. There is more oatmeal than sugar. Right, honey and sugar soup. I pursed my lips, but I no longer had an argument, and she knew it. A point for her, then. We nodded, score understood, and went on our ways. That is one of my favorite scenes in the story so far. The only one that tops that is Idle in the jail cell, and everyone's attempts to break him out. It's just so funny. You want to read a small snippet of The Mysterious Unicorn with Cersus? Sure. Sure, I can do that. I probably won't have any context for it, but let's go. Oh, time to let the light in now that I'm no longer doing more readings. Do not touch the cord, don't touch the cord, or else something will happen I don't want. Alrighty then. But yeah, I have not finished this chapter this time. I have never been sadder about Idle losing his emotional connections to Cadence. Yeah, this chapter makes it hit all the more harder of how close they were. Like, he even called her Katie, calling her Katie. Like, I forgot that he called her Katie in this instance rather than Cadence. And him having to, like, basically start from scratch while her having memories of the whole thing. Just really sad in that kind of way. But we shall persevere, no matter how many cliffhangers no matter how many cliffhangers Drake dangles us over. We will have our day to Valhalla. Yeah, and I also once read a thing where it's like an author's happiness is proportional to the amount of fear of pain that they cause to everyone's favorite characters. And looking at so many stories, I'm like, yeah, that's probably true. Ponhala. Oh yes, you're right, Seth. You're right. Ponhala. I was about to say Ponhala doesn't sound right, but then I remembered Ponehenge. Yeah, the show has stupid has they sometimes do really good on the puns, and then they're sometimes just like, stick a pone in front of it, it'll be fun. So Ponhala works just as well. But in any case, I better go and get to making on some bread and some chicken pot pies for the rest of the week. Thank you all for coming out, and hopefully Brony is the funniest one. Oh, 100. It's great. It's kind of like one of those words that's now it's so common that people don't realize it's a pun, but it's great nonetheless. Anyway, thank you for all coming out this week, and we will be probably finishing this chapter next week, hopefully, knock on wood, and all that. Although this is a pretty long chapter, so who knows? This might be a threefer. I've never heard of a threefer. Actually, no, I have heard of a threefer. Although I haven't heard of an actively worked on threefer. So maybe we'll see how this goes. Have a nice time getting baked. Oh yeah, baked man. but yeah, thanks again for everyone uh, supporting me and doing funny little voices into this mic every week. And I hope it continues for a long time afterwards. Anyway, y'all have a great rest of your day and enjoy sky explosions. And peace.